Good morning, Portage County. Thanks for having me, Todd. Thanks for having me, Karen. So always appreciate the invite. So a number of months ago, I was out with a good friend of mine, and he was retiring. So we were taking the boat out. We were kind of just going out fishing. Fishing wasn't very good that day, but I got a chance to talk to him a little bit about his retirement. And I said, Tom, I said, what was the most successful part of your retirement? He says, well, really finding a company that actually cared about me and cared about me enough to offer me good benefits. And I said, oh, well, was the money good? And he says, that the money was good, but that wasn't the most important thing. So that's the subject of our day today, is to talk about employee benefits. So share this screen. So I'm Phil Hollis, and I have an agency, Secure Heritage Insurance Agency. So employee benefits, we have a lot of different, facets of it. We have perks, bonuses, staff, money, fringe benefits, employee benefits, health coverage, the things that everybody thinks of the most. So what we did is we went out and said, what are the most valued benefits that people look for? So if I'm a job seeker and I'm looking for benefits, what am I really looking for? And so what we're going to focus on is the top one. So 88% of the people out there looking for a job, a job, they're looking for better health, dental, and vision insurance. Obviously second, and we all know with the COVID going on, more flexible office hours, work from home options, those are all important as well. So what do you gain by offering benefits? So the top ones we're going to talk about the most. So 71% of the employees who feel satisfied about their benefits also feel loyal. So 54% of the millennials are citing their benefits as a determining factor. So we are awesome. We automatically think that money is going to be the driving factor, and it's not. So over half, if not more, of the reasons that we go to work for somebody is for the benefits. So what do you have to lose as an employer if you don't offer benefits? Because that's the biggest factor. So when I come to the office, or if I'm talking to somebody and I talk to them about their most recent employee, you get automatically one reaction. Well, I hired a guy, he was good at first, but he just doesn't want to work. Well, was that really the case, or were we just not offering the right benefits? So we went through the training program, we brought them on board, we have the onboarding process, and we look at a little bit of a scale here. So new hire, onboarding, training, new assignment. We're spending quite a bit of money and quite a bit of time, with that new employee. So why aren't we offering them a better benefit package? So for you analytical types, we can look at hiring, onboarding, development, unfulfilled time, times number of employees equals the turnover. So you kind of look at the breakdown of people, because not everybody thinks the same. And, so if you're looking at 18 to 25 age range, they're looking at fresh ideas. If I'm looking at 26 to 35, I'm looking at ambitious, enthusiasm. If I'm looking at 51 to 70, everybody's looking at something different, in their life. Various generations. You have the silent generation, baby boomers, and different people call them different things. I can research 10 different websites and probably get 8 different, indications as to what they're called. But the focus of everything is I have to have benefits, and I have to have an environment, to encourage different generations, different age groups with different backgrounds, into my working environment. So people do work for money. but sometimes, money problems get in the way of work, so I'm not going to read this to you. You can read this, but money isn't always the driving factor. So there's 5 reasons that we have to invest in different benefits and in financial wellness benefits. Financial stress is a real thing. So why should you care? 70% of human resource professionals believe that personal finance challenges have a large or some impact to employees. So increased productivity. 83% of employers have found financial well-being benefits improved, if they have them in place for their employees. Money saved. So just a little under 30% of workers have taken a loan or early withdrawal or hardship, from something happening to them in life. So if we have a benefit program, there's reduced risk. So my employees are going to be happier, if the risk is in reduced and my risk is reduced, because they're not going to be stealing from me, staplers and pens and different things in the office, much less stealing my time, so time is very, very important. So loyalty, they're going to be a lot more loyalty if they have good benefits. And they're going to have improved lives. They're going to go home to a happy family. Happy family is happy job, means happy performance. So this is the little bit boring part of the presentation is we're going to talk a little bit about insurance. We're not going to concentrate on this because that's why you're going to make an appointment with us. But a little over 10 years ago, back in 2010, we had what they call the Affordable Care Act come out. So the Affordable Care Act has different insurance plans that have guaranteed issue plans that kind of weed out pre-existing conditions. That was a major concern in our country, was having a condition that I wasn't insurable for anymore. You also have what they call off-marketplace plans. Health shares are a good example of an off-marketplace plan. So that was a challenge that was addressed. And many individuals and families have found that affording regular insurance, meaning like a marketplace plan, was a burden. It was unaffordable in many cases, and there is an alternative. The other type of insurance that you have is group insurance. So many companies and many of the things that we deal with employee benefits offer group insurance. So you have fully funded, you have self-funded, you have health shares, that can be incorporated into a group insurance plan. So there's many different facets. But take a break and just kind of look at this a little bit, maybe have a little bit of popcorn or have your cup of coffee this morning and think about employee benefits. Is it just about money? Is it just about health insurance? It may be about achievement awards, it might be about breaks, it might be about perks, it might be about paid vacations and everything involved. So voluntary benefits are a very, very important aspect of this, and you're really missing out. You're kind of missing the whole game plan if you're not offering voluntary benefits. So it's been blurred over the years. Sometimes they're referred to as worksite benefits, supplemental insurance, or even ancillary benefits. But for the most part, they fill in the gaps. So if I have a 5,000, 10,000 deductible or out-of-pocket expense, how do I fulfill that gap? So am I sending you home from the hospital with a $5,000 bill sitting under the counter? No. So that's why we have voluntary benefits. So these unique benefits are keeping employees happy, they're keeping their families happy, so everybody's happy. This is just an example. You have accident, critical illness. So you go down the list. There's a number of different supplemental or ancillary type benefits that can be incorporated into your employee benefit package. And this is what we offer them. So how do we address not breaking the bank? So we're talking about a lot of different things. I mean, so what's this all costing me is what the employer is asking. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is that after I have a core plan in place, I may be paying a portion of that, but supplemental benefits, any add-ons, I mean, these are going to be at the employee's discretion. I mean, so the employee can pick and choose, kind of like a shopping list. If you're in a grocery store and you go down the aisle, take from the left and take from the right, and you get to the end of the aisle, you're adding it up in the calculator. Hey, this is a little bit too much. Maybe you go back and say, what was most important to me? And that's what we do as employee benefit specialists, is we help you assess what's important to you, what's important to your family, and what's important to that employer in making sure that you have a happy environment. So who are we? So I'm Phil Hollis. As you've met me, we have a staff of individuals. I mean, they'll be walking in the door between 8 and 9 o'clock this morning. We have off-site agents. We cover 26 states. I mean, it depends on where we have a group policy in place and what we have going on. We treat our clients like family. We have agents. Right now, I have two agents in Marshfield that are working this morning. I have an agent that's going to be in the office this morning. We have Taylor that was going to be answering the phone for you when you call. And then we have Patty and myself. And then we have other partners in the business that we deal with, because I'm a broker, so we can't do everything. So we have partners in the business to help us. So what do we do? What are our main goals? Is we treat our clients as family. We educate individuals, families, and businesses on what they can choose for their protection, and specifically their insurance, what their insurance provides. So our business relies on the success of your business and how we can save you cost and how we can improve your benefit package and retention. So we don't want to have you interview a person on Friday, only to have them quit or leave your business 30 days later, and you wonder why. I mean, I did everything possible for this person and they just left. Well, we help you analyze that and make sure that you do have things in place to actually keep that retention. It's all about education, quality, and choice. So services that we provide, I mean, health insurance, obviously, we deal with a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals, a lot of trade associations. We have different options. We have ACA plans, we have Medicare, we have supplemental, ancillary insurance, the cancer, heart, accident, the big things in life. I mean, that's what we're really concerned about. Disability. I mean, disability is much overlooked. So if I have an employee that comes to work and is sick, doesn't have a paycheck coming in for 2, 3, 4 weeks or a couple months, how do they provide for their families? I mean, how do they actually provide their income? Retirement planning. So when you get towards that age of retirement, or even when you're early in life, in your 20s and 30s, and you want to start planning for your retirement, we start with people, as I refer to, like a pup. So you're growing a pup throughout the process, and we actually work with you throughout your whole life. Your life insurance needs up to your final expenses. So individuals, small and large groups. I mean, so we kind of deal with it all. How do we do it? We deal with our staff. We have a whole division dedicated to employee benefits. We deal with it with business partners that we have. We're compliant with the Affordable Care Act. We have different benefit administration platforms. So we're kind of an extension of your HR department. So whether I have 2 employees, 3 employees, up to 300 employees, we have a platform to satisfy and work with your business. All the services that we provide are at no cost to you, the individual, or the business. We're paid by the insurance carriers or the financial service carriers. We're able to administer the policies locally and nationwide. So if you cross state lines, you're taking that vacation to see Aunt Sue over in California or Arizona, we're going to be able to cover you. And we also have the ability to offer pre-tax services. So Section 125, for those of you that are familiar with that, and that's benefiting both the employer and the employee. And we can go into all these different things, as we actually work with you at no cost. All we really need is a census of your employees, and we can actually provide you a free quote. So how to contact us? So we have a website, secureheritageinsurance.com. We have a Facebook page. I'm the owner. We have a downtown location. We're very lucky to have a downtown location. And it's at 1052 Main Street in Stevens Point, Suite 101. Oh, thank you. So I covered everything in about 30 minutes. So I left more than enough time for questions because I know there's going to be a number of you that have different questions, on employee benefits. The most you're going to get out of a presentation like this is actually inviting us into your business or your home, or you come to our office and us going over your unique needs. Thank you.
Phil, I've got a question while we're waiting. If people have questions, post them in the chat box. We'll get them asked. One question I have is, I think it's called a cafeteria plan. I'm not sure, but
Yep.
an employer will give an employee an amount of money. Maybe they all get $2,000, and then they can pick from a variety of different insurances the one that best fits their needs, but depending upon where they are in life and all that. Is that something that's common or not common? Is that something you work with?
Yeah, we work with it a lot. They'll actually be given like a stipend. So the company will have a base plan that they offer, and then they'll have a stipend that they offer to allow, what I was referring to is like that shopping list. So what are my main concerns? When I take my benefit package back to my family, and my family says, these are the things that are important to me, that's what's going to be on my shopping list. But very good question.
So do I get bonus points or anything, or for the good question?
You do, Todd. You always do.
Another thing that maybe I'll share too with folks, and maybe something, Phil, you can even add to your list of things. EdVest now has a workplace kind of a campaign. So EdVest is a way for people to invest in their children or their relatives' education. So EdVest now, and that can be a free benefit where it comes out of payroll deduction again. In some cases, companies will match it. Like they match a retirement plan, perhaps, those sorts of things. So we had a couple webinars a couple weeks ago on that. But if you go to, I think it's just edvest.com, there are some ways to do that for your employees. You can certainly do it individually as well. Are there any other kind of, I guess, unique, less expensive benefits that you can share, Phil? We know, with healthcare and dental, but you had a number on your list. I'm guessing something like, cancer insurance would be fairly expensive. What about long-term care, nursing home care, those kinds of things? Can you give us any idea on those?
So a lot of these benefits, especially if you're a younger person. So if you're a younger individual in a professional environment and you get rated, we had a group just the other day, with, surprisingly, the rates were really, really inexpensive. Some of the benefits we were talking about were initially costing them 30% more than what they ended up being because of their environment that they offered. They have safety things in place, they have all the right things in place to, and what we work with the employer to actually be able to offer that. A lot of things go into employee benefits besides just the health insurance as well. So when we offer long-term, short-term, nursing home care, planning for retirement, these are benefits that an employee actually says, I don't need them now, but it's really nice to know that I have a go-to place. Like I have a guy, as we refer to as the industry, I have a guy to go to actually help me walk through these facets of life.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep asking since everybody else is so shy this morning. Um, we know millennials now are getting old, right? They're moving on in years. Gen Z is the next generation coming through, and you showed some of those on one of your slides. One of the things we sometimes hear is that for the younger generations, it's more important about the place they live than maybe the benefits. But your statistics at the beginning actually shed a different light on that. That benefits are actually the most important thing, or one of the most important things. Can you shed any light on, differences among generations and what their interests are, or their needs are in terms of maybe moving to a new community or new area?
Yeah, I think people are looking for something a little bit different than they were years ago. They're looking for a little bit more relaxed atmosphere. I think if you look back at that slide, it said like 54% of millennials, which can be surprising, were actually looking at benefits, versus the money. So the days of an auto mechanic walking down the street and going to work for another, service station for 50 cents more are few and far between. Benefits are important, more flexible hours, more vacation time, work from home options, vacation time. Student loan assistance has become a really big factor in part of your benefit program as well. Uh, just wellness benefits, a gym membership. So we've worked with employers on maybe not offering a free gym membership, just making it available. So I know in the past, I mean, we've had agreements with 212 to be able to offer this to employers. And so that was a very attracting feature, for a lot of the employers, and obviously attracting for 212 because they got more clients. And, employees, really enjoyed that. Uh, Team bonding events, I mean, are very, very important. They actually made the list, so employees are looking to be part of the team. I mean, they want to be that synergy. I mean, they want to be part of what makes this company and what makes the efforts that I do every day count. So they really want to be part of that team. So those are very, very important. Um, like the leadership, events, that I know, Todd, you offer in Portage County, are very, very important to the employees. And they actually like to be invited to those. And many times, I mean, they're paying for it themselves. So all the employer is doing is giving them a couple hours to go to the event.
Well, Phil, thanks for the nice plug. Appreciate that. I'm out of questions. Anybody else have any?
I think Sherry has a question.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sherry.
Okay. Phil, you've been in this business close to 20 years, if not more. What have you seen as the biggest change overall in the insurance business for the United States since when you started?
So when I started, uh, it was back in 1999. So I had retired from the military in 98. Um, most everybody was on a group policy. So the employers offered a lot of insurance benefits and they were kind of taken for granted. So and because employers weren't really challenged to keep a lot of their employees, I mean, because they basically did it through money. I mean, so the employers, did it through money. They offered benefits, and that was kind of a taken for granted thing. As time went on, more and more employers didn't offer those benefits anymore. So they thought, well, hey, I can kind of get away with, not offering these benefits. I mean, so they went to more individual benefits. And you saw a lot of self-employment people coming out of that. So why did you see a lot of self-employment people coming out of it? It wasn't because they wanted to start their own company and be their own boss. Some of it was obviously, but that wasn't the main thrust. The main thrust was the employers weren't offering the benefits anymore. So now it's kind of come around to a little bit more of, and I think especially during COVID, I mean, you're seeing a lot of companies really looking at that first page again and saying, hey, this is really, really important to my employees, to my families, to my people, that we're offering them benefits, that we're offering them some of those key features. I mean, that work from home, that disability, some of the things that you never really thought of for a benefit package before. It used to be that dental and vision was kind of a really nice add-on benefit. Now it's almost standard. Now we're looking at, more flexible hours. We're looking at disability benefits. We're looking at a lot of different features that employees weren't looking at, 20 years ago. But really good question, Sherry.
Thanks.
And I hope you caught on to I was talking about raising that puppy also. So that's so when I have a younger person coming in, it's almost like taking them from a pup to up to retirement age, because we want them to be prepared for life.
Nice analogy, Phil. I like that. And I also like the fact that pet insurance was listed as one of the benefits. I don't have
It
pets,
is. It
but that was
is.
nice to
So
see.
pets
Yeah.
are very, very important. I mean, so like I have children myself, but Patty and I have what we call fur babies. I mean, so we have 3 fur babies, and we just added a new one to the family. So we have 4 fur babies now in the household. So before it used to be 4 kids and 1 dog. Now it's 4 dogs and no kids. So
Phil, thank you for all the information this morning. We certainly appreciate your expertise.